Y'all, we parents of addicts have got to stop loving our kids to death. Let's talk about it. So, around here, there's a saying that we say, sometimes sarcastically, sometimes lovingly. It just all depends on the situation. And that is, oh, I just love him to death, or I just love her to death. And we mean it. Sometimes it's a very loving compliment that we're giving to a person, and sometimes it's a sarcastic little, oh, I just love him to death, when your kids or your baby grands or your friends or whatever are getting on your nerves. But when you're the parent of an addict, that can be all too real. It can be all too real. And I'm guilty of it. I will sit here and admit I am not perfect. I am not. I am still learning as a parent, as a mom of an addict. I am. I am still learning every single day. And it's been a very long and trying process. I am guilty of almost loving my child to death. And it had nothing to do with my feelings for my child or anything like that. I was my child's biggest enabler. All it took, and he knew this, he knew it, but all it took was a phone call. And it's normal when we get a phone call from one of our kids and we hear, hey, mama, or hey, mom, or hey, dad, or daddy, I need, or I'm hungry. It's normal for us to be like, okay, what do you need? How can I fix this? Okay. It's very normal. That's a parent's heart right there. It just is. But when it's an addict giving you that phone call, and y'all, I've heard everything. Okay. I've heard, hey, mama, I'm hungry. Hey, mama, I'm thirsty. Hey, mama, I'm almost out of gas and I can't get back and forth to work. And y'all, I had to laugh at this one. I honestly did. And I hadn't thought about this memory until this morning when this video came into my mind. And I was thinking back on some of the things that, I've had to deal with and some of the phone calls and messages that I've gotten from my son. And this memory popped up, and I've not thought about this in years. Okay. And I kid you not, this is real. It was, hey, mama, somebody stole all of my underwear. And I need some new underwear. Can you help me out? Yeah, that really happened. It really, really happened. And at first I was like, well, let me order you something. Let me order you some groceries, and you can go pick them up, or let me just go get you some groceries and I'll drop them off, or let me go get you some gas. I have gas cans. Let me go get you some gas. I'll bring it to you, whatever. And in the case of the underwear, I said, okay, well, let me go to Walmart, or let me get on Walmart.com, or you get on Walmart.com and you pick out what you want and we'll figure out how we're going to get it to you, whatever it takes. Okay. And in the beginning, it was, no, if you just send me the money, If you'll just send me the money, that way I can get whatever I want, and I can go wherever I want and get it, no need to bother yourself. No need to put yourself out. Just send me some money and I will be good. And in the beginning, y'all, here you go. Do you want me to Venmo that to you, or Facebook Pay, or PayPal? How you want that? And I didn't realize that I was loving my child to death in that instant. When what I saw was, I'm taking care of my kid. He's hungry. He's thirsty. He's got to get back and forth to work. He's walking around here commando and he needs some underwear. Okay? That's what I saw. That's what I thought. And y'all, I didn't realize when I was sending him this money, he wasn't using that to eat on, or to get anything to drink, or to get gas, or to get new underwear. Okay? 9 times out of 10, he had plenty of everything. He had plenty to eat, plenty to drink, plenty of gas, probably had more gas in his vehicle than I had in mine. And he had underwear. Okay? What he wanted that money for was so that he could go and buy. He needed a hit, and he did not have the money to, or the cash, okay, to go get his drug of choice at that point in time. So Mama became his ATM, his personal ATM. Y'all, that went on for probably 3, maybe 4 years. Okay? Until I woke up one day and I realized, actually, I went to a meeting, and this counselor that was there, and I think I've told this story before here on the channel. I think I have, but I'm going to tell it again. This counselor, he said, okay, by show of hands, who all does this, this, and this? Okay, what about this, this, and this? Okay, one more question. What about this? And I thought, I'm doing really well here. I have got this. I know how to parent an addict. I am rocking this. I don't need these meetings. I'm doing great. Then the counselor looked, and it was almost like he was looking right through me. Okay? We made eye contact. And he said, if you raised your hand to any of those questions, you're burying your child. Wait, what? What? I'm doing what? He said, if you answered that you do any of the things that I just asked you, you're your child's biggest enabler, and you're going to bury your child. You are. And you played a part in it. Can you live with that? Can you move on with your life and live with the fact and the knowledge that you loved your child to death? I was floored. I was absolutely floored. Absolutely. Here I was thinking that I was doing everything right. You know, there was a little bit of conflict between me and my son, but it wasn't, it wasn't anything major. Life was good. I still had that, what I thought was a pretty good relationship with him. He was still in contact with me. And then I realized, how many times he could have hit rock bottom during that time. But as mom, and as mamas tend to do, or as daddies tend to do, I'm not just calling out moms, okay? I'm not. As parents tend to do, let's say that. I walked around anyway, and I carried this pillow, okay? And I followed, this is my way of explaining it. I walked around carrying that pillow, and I followed my son around, okay? And anytime it looked like he was going to fall, I cushioned it. I cushioned it. Any other time, that might have been okay. Any other child, that might have been okay. But for my addict, for my son, that could have been deadly. That could have been lethal for me to have done. And I was completely in the dark about it. No thoughts. None whatsoever. None. I mean, you don't wake up one morning and be like, oh, I know everything about addiction, and I know everything about being the parent or the mom or the dad of an addict, and I'm going to be perfect at this, because there is no perfection in addiction. There's just not. They're not perfect, clearly. We're not perfect. We're human beings. We have to, and it takes time. It does. It takes time to, one, come out of the shock. I call it shock and awe, okay, of finding out that your child is an addict. It takes time to come out of that. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your child is addicted to. It takes a hot minute for you to come out of the shock and awe of finding out your child is an addict. It does. It takes another hot minute for you to get through the process of trying to save them. Okay? Because it's a mad dash in the beginning. It is. It's a mad dash. Your mind is just everywhere. Everything's ping-ponging off of everything else. And you can't have a clear, precise thought. You just can't, because once one hits the center of your brain, okay, and you're starting to have that thought, that one's gone and the next one's in there. It's just a process, and it zooms. It's like it's on a conveyor belt, and they're just zooming by. Okay? That's what it's like. In the beginning, that's what it's like. It was for me anyway. And y'all, I can only tell you my story. I can only tell you my experience. I cannot sit here and tell you that, this for sure is going to happen to you. This for sure is not going to happen to you. I can't tell you that, because every journey is different, but every journey is the same. In that same note, every journey is different, but every journey is the same. We all feel the same emotions. We all feel the anger, the sadness, the hurt, the distrust. We all go through that circle of grief. We all grieve. Whether we realize that it's grief or not, we all grieve. We grieve the child that we had up until that moment of And sometimes your child will come and tell you, hey, mom and dad, I'm having issues. I'm addicted to fentanyl, or I'm addicted to heroin, or I'm addicted to meth or pills or whatever it may be. And then some of us find out the hard way when we get a phone call and it says, you have a call from an inmate at whatever jail they may be in. That's how I was awakened a couple of times, and it sunk in finally that, hey, he's got a problem. He's got a problem. I wanted to hide my head in the dirt. I didn't want to see where he was really at. I didn't. I didn't. I wanted to shield him. I wanted to make things better. I wanted my family back the way it was before all hell broke loose, before the shit hit the fan. Okay? I wanted my family back. I wanted my peace back. I wanted my life back. Okay? I don't think that's too much to ask for. But I don't know. That's just me. That's just my opinion. There was one time when I sent him money. Okay? And the next thing I know, it's probably a couple of hours later after I sent him the money, that I get a phone call from his wife, and she's telling me that he's seizing. He is having seizures. And I'm screaming at her, what's he took? What did he take? And she's not any better than he is, or wasn't at that time, okay? And she can't tell me. She's slurring so bad and she can't tell me what he took. And I'm screaming at her to hang up, call 911 right now. I had no clue where they were at, none whatsoever. So I could call 911. It was in a whole different county, and I had no clue where they were at. And she couldn't tell me where they were at. All she could tell me was that he's seasoned. That's it. I finally got her to get off the phone and to call 911. I did. I did. And thankfully, they made it to him and they were able to bring him back around. This was before he became so immune to Narcan, so it didn't take 5 doses to bring him back. And I went to bed that night thanking God that, one, I still had my son. 2, that the money I had sent to him did not kill him that night. It very well could have. It very well could have. I know, as well as anybody else watching this video, I know as parents, we just want to make things okay for our kids. We don't want them having to make the mistakes or have to feel the hurt or feel the pain or the embarrassment or the letdown or whatever. We want them to have better than what we had. And I totally understand that. I do. I have 4 children. Actually 5. I have Aiden. I have raised my children. I know. I hate to see my kids hurting in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And I have always tried my best when it was anywhere near possible to help my kids when I saw that they were hurting in whatever way. But I've had to come to the realization that I have one that I can't do that with. I can't be the mom that I would normally be to my other children with this child. I can't. He'll die. He'll die. I'll literally love him to death. I would not be able to live with myself. I would not be able to move on with life. I would not be able to live with myself if that money or whatever it was that I gave to him, if I give him my debit card or whatever, no, there's no way. There's no way. There is no way I would be able to pick up and move on with my life. Y'all, I know we love our kids. I know we do. I know that we want to do everything we can to protect them. And I know I have said this before, all of this before. But I would rather have him here on this earth, whether he wants to have anything to do with me or not. And let me tell you, when I started saying no, our relationship started disappearing little by little by little. And then all of a sudden there were big chunks taken out of it because he got more aggressive. I need this. I need this. No, you're not getting it from me. Okay? It came down to physical altercations. It came down to him stealing every piece of jewelry I had ever collected over my life, with the exception of my wedding rings and my mother's ring. And that's only because I had them on my fingers at the time and he couldn't get them. He would have had no problem at all, pawning or selling those items along with, my dad's wedding band, my Noah's Ark bracelet that my grandmother and my Nini got for me, my necklaces that I'd had since I was a little girl, my birthstone rings that I had gotten over the years from, my mom, my Nini, my aunts. He didn't care anything about selling them. He wouldn't have cared anything about selling the ones that absolutely meant the most to me, which was my mother's ring that has all of my kids' birthstones and their names on it, and my wedding set. Mamas, don't feel bad. Daddies, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about saying no. Don't do it. Don't feel bad about saying no. Don't feel bad about saying, I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, and I will not. Do not feel bad for that. You would feel 100 times or more worse if you said yes and something happened to your child. Don't feel bad. I know it hurts. It hurts us more than it ever will them. I promise you that. Kind of like the old saying, when you're getting ready to discipline your child, and some of the old TV shows, This hurts me more than it will you. That's the absolute truth. The absolute truth. It literally hurt me so bad when I had to tell him no. And I knew what was coming afterwards. I knew that the name calling and the fighting and the screaming and the yelling, I knew it was coming. But y'all, I'd much rather hear that. And that's not them talking, that's the drug addict talking. And you've got to learn that too. If you're just beginning this journey, you develop a lot of tough skin, and it's coming. Just hold on. I promise you, it's coming. Okay? It's not them. It's the drug addict talking. It still hurts. But once you realize that it's the drugs making them say the things that they say and making them do the things that they do, it becomes a lot easier to stand your ground and look them in the eye and you say no. And I even started telling him, no, Joseph, I love you too much to give you what you're asking for. If you're really hungry, I will DoorDash you something. I will Uber Eat you something. I will whatever it takes. Okay? If you're really thirsty, let me order you some groceries online. You go pick them up. Let me do this, and all you have to do is go pick it up. If he accepted that, then I knew that I did okay. Okay? I wasn't going to let him go hungry. But 9 times out of 10, he got mad at me because I wouldn't just send him money. No, not going to do that. I'll feed you. I'll give you something to drink. I'll put gas in your car so you can go back and forth to work. Okay? I'll even buy you some clean drawers if that's what it takes. But I'm not giving you a dime in cash. No, we're not doing that. Our kids are our worlds, okay? They have our hearts. With me, it was the moment that I found out I was pregnant, okay? And then the moment those babies were born and I looked at those little faces, y'all, they had me. They had my heart, okay? We love our kids unconditionally. We do. And it's no different when your child's an addict. That's still your child. That's still your baby. This is my baby boy. Okay? This is my youngest. It doesn't matter. That's still your child. You're still mom or you're still dad. And we still want to be there. And we can be in certain ways. But we have to learn where that boundary is. And we have to set it, and we have to set it hard. And we have to be willing to stand firm and tell our addict no. Not just no, hell no. And I'm not trying to offend anybody by using the words that I'm choosing. Okay? So if I offend you, I am sorry. This is real life. And if I have to scream those words at my child, I will do that. There is no reason for any of us to go through this alone. None whatsoever. We can't do it alone, guys. I tried. For years, I tried. I hid the fact that this is what I was dealing with from everybody around me. And y'all, I got pretty good at it. Okay. I was miserable. I had a nervous breakdown. I had a mild heart attack from hiding things, from keeping things inside. We can't do this alone. We need a community. We need the support. We need the love from others that are going through the same thing that we're going through. And that's what we're building right here on this channel. If you don't believe me, go check out some of the live videos that we've been doing twice a week on a weekly basis. Okay? The live chat and check-in. It's where the community comes together. People talk about the issues that they've had that week, the issues that they're dealing with, how their child is doing. I talk about how mine's doing. And there are times where we just talk about nothing more than what we're having for dinner that week, because it's an escape. It's an escape for us to have a little bit of time that we're not having to sit and think about our life outside of that. Okay? It's a little bit of me time. It's a little bit of me talking to friend time. And it's amazing. If you're not part of that community, I strongly urge you to hit the subscribe button right now. We do these lives on Wednesdays and Sundays for right now. That may change. We may add a day. We'll see. On Wednesdays, it's at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Sundays, it's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And y'all, we will go as long as people continue to chat and to just fellowship with each other and to support each other. I will stay right there with that video going. And I will be there for everybody. If you would rather have a conversation in private, my email is always in the description box of all of my videos. And you can feel free to send me an email and we'll chat that way. Y'all, I do my best to answer all my emails. Okay? I do. It may take me a couple of days, because, again, real life here, but I do try my best to answer all my emails within a couple of days. I may not have all the answers that you're needing or that you're looking for, but I can promise you I will do my research and I will find the answers. And if I can't, then I have others that are in my community that I can go to and I can get those answers for you. I'm going to end this video here. Y'all, this video hit like a ton of bricks this morning, and the words they've just flowed out, and this need to be said. Somebody needed to hear this. I don't know who it is, but somebody did. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to watch this video. There's a reason why this video was put in your path. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for supporting our little channel. If you haven't yet, again, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you join our community. Be sure to like the video, comment below, even if it's just to say hi, as that really supports our little channel and continues to help it grow. I love our little community, y'all. I sure do. Much love to each and every one of y'all, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.